Let's further discuss this now with Latin America analyst Javier Farje, who joins us live from London. Thank you so much for being with us on the program. Now, something like this was bound to happen, and now the new president has to find a way to reunite the country and create a path of stability, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. She's asked for, as your colleague said, for government of national unity. It will have to be a non-partisan government with ministers who are not linked to the old Castillo regime, which is important because she will need the support of Congress, which is not particularly popular among the people in Peru, by the way. It's very important to emphasize that. However, she has the support of Congress. Congress immediately called her to form, to become president, which means that there was a consensus in Congress to appoint her as president. That's a good start for her. It will have to be a neutral cabinet of people who are not linked to Castillo, but at the same time, she said that she wants to sort out the problems of corruption and lack of government, which means that she will have to get people who are not tainted by Mr. Castillo's relationship. And that's going to be a hard work to do. Now, on the other hand, we were hearing about the need for her to call for new elections. The Congress has been reluctant to accept that because they don't want to lose their jobs. It remains to be seen whether she will be able to propose early elections in order to renew Congress and renew the executive. And that's going to be hard work, but at least at the moment, there's some kind of consensus that she has a task and she will have the support of Congress until she appoints a new cabinet, and it remains to be seen whether Congress accept that cabinet.
You mentioned corruption and lack of government. Do you think that's going to be her biggest challenge walking into this new role?
Definitely. Corruption. The president has been allegedly accused of corruption, although he says that he's innocent, that he has not anything wrong. The general prosecutor in Peru had actually issued filed a dossier with all charges of corruption against President Castillo and against people of his entourage, relatives, friends, allies, etc. And that's going to be crucial when the investigations go ahead, and Congress is going to have to approve that as well. So that is a big task at the moment. Corruption is rooted in Peru, in Peruvian society. I'm afraid to say, even though I'm Peruvian, it pains me to say that. And that has to be a priority for the government. And this has to be, she has to start now. She cannot have there won't be a honeymoon period for her. She's going to have to start now if she wants to start solving problems in Peru.
So as for Pedro Castillo, could we say that this might be the end of his political career?
Definitely. This was the biggest political suicide I've seen in my career as a journalist for 40 years. Only on Tuesday, he had a meeting with his lawyers to mount a legal defense against his attempt to impeach him. The opposition had managed to get enough votes to debate impeachment, but not to get impeachment. The opposition was short 7 votes to get actually the president impeached. He had a meeting, and he announced on Tuesday evening that he was going to go to Parliament to defend himself against impeachment. Less than 12 hours later, he was announcing he was closing down Parliament. Nobody knew why he did that. He was totally isolated. All his ministers resigned, his lawyers resigned, and the armed forces issued a statement saying that they would not support this coup attempt, as they call it. That was the end of Castillo's sort of attempt. It didn't last more than 2 hours, and then he left the palace. He was going to the Mexican embassy. He was detained, and now he's going to be tried for rebellion. So that's not only the end of his political career. Likely he will go to prison for at least a decade, because this is a serious crime committed against the Constitution of Peru. We don't understand. Nobody understands why he did what he did. Nobody understands why he changed his mind in less than 12 hours in relation to what he did, because it's totally bizarre. And maybe one day we'll answer, but we don't know exactly who influenced him to make that announcement and to try to set up a coup which failed straight away.
Okay, Latin America analyst Javier Farje, thank you so much for your contributions.